are back here live. We've been gone for a minute.
I was like, I'm
now
so
we're back with
not
the jump
ready
off.
for your starting
my
with that.
God.
Me?
What?
Me?
Well,
Is
this
it me?
one here? Yeah, I think so. She's nice, good, and rested. We had this whole conversation
that's
last
exactly
year
why.
about the same time.
Yep.
She's nice and rested because she ain't had no kids for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Thank you, Jesus. It's so great. I miss y'all and I love y'all.
You actually do look really rested.
She is extremely rested.
Not that you don't normally, but
Yes.
you
Oh.
do.
It's exuding from the inside.
I don't need naps anymore. I just get my 8 hours at night. It's great.
Yeah, no.
So what you're saying, what Brian is hearing is it's not the husband, it's the kids.
A little bit. A little bit.
Well, we are glad to be back. We have been gone for 3 weeks from the studio, but we are back live right here at WLVS Radio and Listen Vision Live Studios. And we are still in our summer series. However, we are about to transition, right?
Yes.
A little bit.
I feel like fall is coming.
It's on its way. It's on its way. But before we go any further, of course, you know, well, maybe you don't know who we are. So I'm Kenosha.
I'm Britt.
I'm Leia.
And of course, we cannot forget the man to the GT DC family, DJ Willful. How you doing today?
Well, how
I was like, AKA Kool-Aid, like the coolest shirt ever.
are you? Drink it in, drink it in.
Kool-Aid Will,
Shirt
where
is
it's
very
at.
appropriate.
Yes,
It's summer
absolutely.
series, right?
It is
Right?
summer series.
Kool-Aid.
I'm kind of obsessed. Like, how did
Kinda
we not?
We are so
Is there
sweet.
any way during
I
the
know,
lip sync
I
battle
feel
we
really
could have him
small.
bust out and the Kool-Aid man? And
Oh, I
goes,
think. Well, we can't talk about that too
Oh,
much. See, I was
sorry.
about to say some stuff.
She stole your thunder.
We was gonna like, no, I was about to say some stuff that didn't need to be said. We can't give away our stuff.
That's
yeah, you guys
true.
should not allow me on the show until after September 15th.
Yeah, we and we
Leia
will
don't
be
know how to
taking.
keep a secret.
Well, we will be taking a little bit of a hiatus after next week. So we have a show next week, which is somebody's birthday.
What?
The
She
day of the
just had
show.
a birthday.
Is it me?
Are you sure? Or was
Is
that Brian's
it
birthday?
my birthday?
DJ
Brian's
Will,
birthday.
it's yours,
It
right?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also known as
Yeah.
Brian's birthday.
I know. Britt's birthday is always
kinda
Brian's
true.
birthday. So
My husband likes to have a good time. He enjoys being with friends,
yes.
having some adult beverages.
Yes.
Y'all
Brett
need
just
I have
likes
a
to take a
2
nap.
drink maximum, and then I just want to lay down.
Yes. We need to bring you in. I feel like you're away from us.
I feel like the camera is just stealing my thunder right now, and the people need to see me.
There you
okay?
go. Now, there you
It's
are.
almost my birthday, and they want to know what I'm doing.
Well, we all
Maybe.
know now.
We all know what's going on, but we will be here.
I'm too rested.
We
This
will.
is the problem.
Yes.
We will be taking a little quick break after next week. So please join us back here live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, listenvisionlive.com.
On my birthday,
On your birthday.
I gotta work.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Well,
we're going to have a little surprise.
We'll
as
pay her
far-
double time.
No, we won't.
I tried.
Dang, boss.
She messing up the bottom line.
Dang, boss.
We on our way, but we ain't there yet. Speaking of which, we do have some exciting things moving forward.
We
have
do.
not been able to let the cat out of the bag per se yet.
Are we
Okay.
coming out with our own mac and cheese line?
No,
Oh.
It's
No.
vegan.
no, it's not.
Kool-Aid.
They just come back telling lies all the time. I don't know why we have
This
to
is
fix
what happens
the
when
situation.
you give us time off, boss.
It's like
That's true.
telling lies. No, but we will keep you all abreast and noted about what's happening.
It's
as-
really good too, guys.
Yeah, as soon as the time comes. But you know, I had a different type of opening and things that I wanted to talk about on our welcome today. However, and we are going to get to the day's theme, but before we kind of jump into that, first of all, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be real blunt right now.
Uh-oh.
This shit has to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
What shit?
real talk.
You already know what shit. What happened
I'm
this weekend, Brett?
so sick
Oh.
of the bullshit. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of the goddamn government that act like they don't know what the fuck they need to do. I'm sorry. But it's too many people, too many kids, too many lives, families that do not need to be affected. And, you know, I was up really late last night. Didn't mean to be, but I am just beyond a lot of things. And, you know, I know it's really hard because, of course, many of us probably start to feel like, well, what can we do? You know, you get to that point, you know, you vote,
Right.
you know, you participate in whatever
Your
rallies,
community.
your community,
Yep.
whatever
Contact
it
your
is that
officials
you,
when
right.
there's a issue that you're passionate
You do all that
about. There's
stuff.
change
Yeah.
you want to affect.
Yeah. But bottom line is, unfortunately, yes, we as people can do a lot. We can try to push the envelope. We can, protest. We can write the letters. We can do all the things that we're supposed to do. But unfortunately,
Not to be controversial, because I actually don't know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's an issue of gun control, or do you think
I think it's an issue of understanding that we live in a different time right now, and not that it doesn't have jack shit to do with taking away somebody's guns.
Agreed. The problem
or their
is, though,
rights.
we're in a mental health crisis.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so, granted, some people we own guns. Okay, I'm okay. I carry a license in multiple states.
Being
However,
a gun owner and
Right.
having a semi-automatic
100%.
look, all I gotta say
Weapon.
is if my ass get locked up in Sing Sing one day and I need to wear a jacket, my ass doesn't need to own a gun, nor have a license to operate one.
To wear a jacket.
I mean, I'm serious, and I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Because the problem, yes, the problem is not the guns, it's the people.
and the phrase gun control, nowhere in there is it saying to take, it's just controlling access to something that,
Thank you.
with all due respect, like not every fucking body needs to have a gun.
No.
Some
Agreed.
people can do
and-
that shit and be cool. Some people can't be cool.
Nobody can be cool. Well, and the problem is we live in an age.
Yep.
We live in a technological age. This
Yep.
is not 50 years ago where, yes, you had to go fill out paper, go through the processing. The processing took
Maybe you
weeks.
had to kill your food.
Right. Beforehand. But I mean, the processing gave time
Right.
for things to either come up, be flagged, whatnot.
Yeah.
We are in a immediate gratification type, instant access type of world. And so, unfortunately, people slip through the cracks
Very easily.
very easily. And there's so much that can happen at a split second. And you know what? I'm sorry, I'm sounding off, but I'm tired of it. And I hope that those out there that are watching us, listening, that love Good Things DC are also tired of it, And what I'm about to say is close the fucking door, because I'm real pissed off right now, and all that bullshit that's coming in and out the door
I ain't got
time for it right
none of
now.
y'all shit today.
I'm sorry. This is Good Things DC, but I'm about to
Good Things After Dark, Good Things Unfiltered. Kenosha has given all her fucks away.
Basically.
Kenosha's face is frozen. So
And
Britt and I will continue
personally,
on with the program.
If you're not scared right now, you don't know my friend. You should be scared.
I'm sorry. I'm
like,
just
Britt,
I'm
almost
scared.
I've had it. But in all real talk, DJ Wilfo, I appreciate it. I know your wife Alana made a post yesterday, which I agree with wholeheartedly. She didn't have to say much. It just said enough for itself. And the running list of gun deaths that have happened since January 1 of this year.
It's
Ridiculous.
insane.
It's
now,
ridiculous.
The number of different cities.
That's right.
It's ridiculous.
It is absolutely.
And so,
Well, and you think
250.
so I think about you guys with kids, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
even have kids.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, do I even want to have kids? I don't know that I really want to worry about taking
Right.
my kids to a concert
Right.
or taking my kids
Right.
to the mall and
Right.
somebody shooting up my kids.
Or
Right.
church or
Right.
school.
Church,
Anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
School supply shopping.
anywhere,
Movies.
it's gotten to the
ridiculous.
point where, obviously, like I said, we as people, as citizens,
Yeah.
on the right side of the law,
That's right.
can
Thank you,
only
Jesus.
do so much, right?
That's right.
And we can do a lot.
Right.
But, I mean, we can't write the bills. We
Legislation.
can introduce
That's right.
one, or maybe get our congressman or
Right.
our representative for our states or whatnot to introduce something. But, unfortunately, that's as far as we go. Now, the other thing that we can do, and I'm kind of with Leah, yes, it's a catch-22. We can
Right.
do things like tie the hands of those that are making profits
Right.
Right.
off of, gun sales and things like that.
But is that going to fix the
Exactly.
problem of the media drawing exposure to these people? Because
Right.
that's what it is,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Well, and that's
I
the
mean,
one
that's-
thing we got caught down the rabbit hole of watching CNN the other
Right.
night. And one of the things that I really like, shout out to my boo, Anderson Cooper, hey boo. One thing I liked that he did was
Right, he doesn't like girls, right?
he likes me. One thing that he did that I really appreciated was he spent a lot of time speaking on the victims.
Yes.
Highlighting who they were from the perspective of their surviving family
Yes.
members. And one of the things that he said was, I really want to make sure that we talk about these victims because what these terrorists
That's what you are.
Yeah,
want
that is 100% what you are.
is
Right.
the recognition, the accolades. They want
They
the
want to be on
notoriety
TV.
that
Yeah.
comes
Right.
from
Look
acts
what I
such
did.
as these.
Yeah, it's like a little
And
2-year-old
so
that's like,
we
look what I
don't
can
even
do.
need
Look
to
what I can do.
acknowledge
Yeah.
them.
No.
I really
And
appreciated
the
that.
problem is that, yes, and I think those of us that have an intelligent way of thought
Sure.
understand that,
We're not
right?
talking to some of y'all. Sorry.
Well, those people aren't watching this show anyway.
I hope not.
So,
This is not for you.
but
Maybe
you
it
know,
is for you.
I go off on my tangent and I go off on my soapbox, and we will get to our regularly scheduled programming. I promise.
We're gonna bring y'all some good things.
That some of this I want you all to be sick of it as much as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. I want you to be fed up. I want you to be tired of the bullshit. I want you to be tired of hearing the bullshit, because we're doing the best we can. Hearing,
Thoughts and prayers.
that ain't gonna cut it. Okay, so
And you have to stop watching. That's the
Yes.
only way the media is going to stop showing this information is if you quit tuning in and you stop watching and you stop bringing attention to things you don't want to see anymore, because
Right.
they just keep bringing that attention
Feeding the
because
machine.
everybody's watching it.
absolutely. So keep that in mind. But
Yes. And do good
moving it
things.
around, I had to. I'm sorry. I
It was
literally.
it was on your heart.
on my
Yeah.
heart.
It was
on
on
my mind.
these
It
chesticles
kept, it kept me up
that
till
are
4 o'clock in the
lovely
morning.
on display right
Well,
now.
there was
I
a.
just feel so sad when I sit in a tank top next to you. I'm like, can we pump these up? Is
First
there
of
a way
all,
on our
Kenosha
show?
has
Let
like
me give
8
away.
boobs, and I'm struggling to get 1 boob.
I feel like the
I
blue,
need- I'm-
blue
I'm
makes them
giving
look
some
a little
away.
bigger.
I'm
Does
giving
it?
some away.
Yeah, the blue makes the black eye look like
This
They
is this is
look
good
real
things to
sad.
see. We go from
My titties is
shootings
looking
in
real
America
sad.
to boobs.
That's right. We bounce
That's
all
what we
over
do.
the place.
That's how we do.
Yeah.
Literally. We bounce all over the place. However,
It's a good thing.
it's always a good thing. But you know what? We're going to talk about tonight a few things. Well, really one big thing. And I want you all to start trending this hashtag, because we are. So hashtag GTDC no shame.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Because we have 0 shame.
We don't. And we want you all to start feeling that way too. And so we're going to talk about shame. We're going to talk about why we have it, why we play into it, what we can do about it. We're going to talk about, understanding it. You need to know your shame so that you can have
Own your
no
shame.
shame.
Love your shame.
Yeah. So
Punch
it
that
helps
shame
you-
in the face.
Yeah, so you can get rid of it and say bye.
Felicia.
To it. But we're also going to talk about some of the ways that you understand shaming, and like the different things and different ways that people shame, which most of us have, heard about these, mom shaming, fat shaming, slut shaming.
Skinny shaming. It's a thing.
Yeah, it
when I
is.
was skinny, I'm not anymore, but when I was, I got shamed for it.
People do all the time. It's a mess. And it's something we
I
shouldn't do.
miss
but-
it. I want to be skinny shamed again. I'm
be
sorry.
But we are going to talk about how we
You could
can
not
get over
say you
that.
were
And I think it's important, because we are coming up on school starting back.
That's right.
Which means that we need
There's
to
a
get
lot
into this
of shaming
mindset.
that
There's
happens there.
bullying and the
Oh
whole
my
9
gosh.
yards, and that plays a major part. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And we're going to, of course, have our little comedic side to it.
Thank
And yeah, some of these things we just have to say that's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie, Low Down Dirty Shame, with
I do.
Jada Pinkett
It's a
Smith?
shame.
Y'all remember that movie?
I love that.
You got that, right?
Oh, I love
I
that.
All
don't
right.
know.
Classic.
Well,
What year did that come
Keenan
out?
Ivory Wayans.
probably before you were born. All right. But
Leia
with
be
that,
knowing the most random black movies.
yeah.
It's because if we don't have enough snow days, then I get no black movies, because Jay and I watch black movies on snow days.
I went over to
So
Leia's
last
house
year-
one time, and she was like, "Do you want to watch Taxi?" And I was like, "What the fuck is Taxi?" And it was a
Queen
Yes.
Latifah.
Queen
movie.
Latifah movie.
Jimmy Fallon.
And it's
see?
great.
I was
If
like,
gonna rob a
random-
bank,
there's
I
random
would do
stuff
it
up
in a
there.
mini skirt, and I would have a BMW.
Literally never heard of this
No.
movie.
And it was
was
the
pretty
best.
bad.
That's kind of
I
like
don't know.
Trinice's idea that we won't get into that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't know.
she's trying to drive for
Snow
Uber.
days.
She can't drive for Uber.
Oh, is she actually doing it?
No.
She was talking about
No.
it.
She was talking about it.
No, my sister is no.
She was so excited. She was like, "I'm going to be the
No.
Uber. What was it?
We
Deluxe."
look alike, and she no.
I'm gonna drive the Uber Deluxe client.
I feel like she would,
in her.
I feel like she
Mercedes.
would do it for 1 hour, and she would be like, "I'm done."
Yes,
I'm done.
absolutely. It sounds like a good idea, but
Yeah.
it's really not.
It's not her steez.
No, not
she
at all.
is, sorry, too good for that.
No,
I'm sorry.
but she's a
Sorry,
school
Uber
teacher.
drivers, I
And
love
no,
y'all.
you can't do that. But we're gonna go through all of that and more as soon as Good Things returns. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hashtag no shake. I'm sweating.
Up and down, I'm going round, and so somehow you know I might get down, you might not drown, you might just fly away, you might just fly with me. Hang out, then you gon' see that I can set you free. Your way, your way, your way.
Call me the Police Ninja, beauty lies within, I wanna see what's in ya. Hermit tucked between the Ferragamo, the hustle is all I know, the only thing I got time for. Let me get your finest table dancer, thinking I should take you home and let your mans pay the ransom. Light a candle for them haters, we about to kill them. By the empty all the bottles, all the cups, we about to fill them.
Up and down, I'm going round, and so somehow you know.
It's a shame the way you hurt me. It's a shame.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Good Things. And, before we went to break, we were talking about basically what we're going to talk about the rest of the show. And hashtag no shame. right?
Hashtag no shame.
Hashtag Brene Brown's my hero.
Yes.
I love her so
She
much.
is cute.
Yes, she's awesome. And, when I was putting together kind of the segment, that quote, and I love her and just everything that she talks about, kind of spoke to me. And the thing is that, like I said, we are coming back up on back to school.
Yeah.
We have kids going back to school, but I think in general, whether you have kids or whatever the case might be, we all experience shame, and in many different ways. And a lot of times we don't even really know why or where it came from. And, I think a big part of understanding that is that you need to know not only your shame, but just what shame is in the first place, right?
Yep.
So, we're going to talk to you guys, I think, just for a little bit, just kind of about, this is kind of a little serious segment, I guess, if you will.
Okay.
About...
She looked at me because she knows I play too much.
No. I think we all do, but we really want to impart a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of what we hope is, I guess, help, just to make sure that you know that, number one, like we always do here on Good Things, anything that you're experiencing day-to-day life, you ain't the only one.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
This is a normal thing. And
Actually, if I can interject for
Yes.
1 second. So a lot of us, you will notice that people will mirror you in your life. So like my clients, a lot of times for health coaching, will be going through similar issues, and they find me and I'm like, ugh, how did this happen? How are you going through the exact same thing I'm going through, and I'm supposed to help you and then help myself at the same time?
How's that supposed to happen? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
But
just like here.
It's just like here. I mean, we'll all be going through similar things at the same time.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
This is, I mean, everything we're talking about right here is like home base.
Yep.
So it's not anything that we're saying, hey, do this because we don't do it. No. We're human just like you.
We are never shaming of ourselves.
Yeah, whatever. All day long. But we're going to go through this.
Because we live in a judgmental society and we're hyper focused on everything that's wrong with us.
Well,
and each other.
We
and we should just love each other.
But a part of that is understanding
love ourselves.
why we are that way.
Exactly.
You know?
And understanding what shame actually is.
So we're going to give you a few tips. You can get the, I would say, expanded version by checking us out on our social media, and we'll have it posted. But where can they find us?
GoodThingsDC.com. That's our website. Good Things DC Show. That's our YouTube channel. We have Good Things DC on
I was like, no one's
Instagram.
No one's gonna know what that is, but they don't
It's
have
our YouTube channel.
All right,
YouTube
thank you.
Channel? No? Okay. Good Things DC Show YouTube channel. I'm just gonna say stuff real boring. We on YouTube. It's Good Things DC Show.
This is way more
We're on Instagram.
entertaining.
It's Good Things DC. Facebook. Also Good Things DC. Are y'all not entertained?
Yes,
Good day.
Yep.
You are now very informed.
Sylvia is doing good tonight.
All right, so I'm going to let Leia kick us off. And then, you know, if we cut through anything, again, like I said, find it all, expanded version, Facebook, Instagram, we'll make sure to have it all there for
Or
you.
just email Kanosh. She got it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Everybody emails Kanosh. Just email Kanosh. We email her like very weird things at 3 a.m. She answers.
I do.
Always. All right, so let's talk about shame, which tends to be an uncomfortable topic for most people to talk about. So think of something that, let's say your mom always said to you when you were older or younger or whatever it is. You're not good enough to do X.
Yep.
Or if you're not doing 50 million things, then you're lazy. Lazy is my favorite shame word ever because one person's lazy is another person's recovery time. But a lot of parents use that phrase when it comes to a child, you know, not cleaning their room or different things. Yeah. And they don't realize what an effect hearing the word lazy over and over and
part
over.
Of their story.
100%.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think that, you know, and we kind of talked about, well, really in general, we talked about this, but yeah, you know, knowing your shame, knowing the root of it, which that's kind of hard.
It is hard because, you have to look at your story and be able to kind of go inside and go backwards.
And then come out and look at it that way.
And looking at it, be able to decipher, okay, this moment represents some shame.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to dive right into kind of the ways that we need to get to know shame. So obviously, just like Leia said, you need to be willing to explore it. You need to be able to ask yourself those questions that, you know, allow you to really figure it out. So you got to be curious. You got to be open. You got to have some courage because it can be a little hard. It can be hard to be like, man, you know, my parents messed me up. Yeah. Or, man, you know, I'm looking at things in ways that maybe I shouldn't. So that can be very painful. We as human beings shy away from anything painful, especially self-inflicted pain, of course.
Yeah, we want to
You
stay
know,
in our little box
who wants
and
to
be
be
comfortable. And
But, you know, you have to get to that place. You should get to it with yourself in a very compassionate way. So, you know, give yourself leeway, cushion to, you know, feel what you're going to feel and accept what you know, may find, because you can't beat yourself up while you're in the process of exploring what maybe that shame is and what the shame is that you are feeling.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. Be courageous, explore.
Second up, find the gap. So you might get used to, or you might know like that feeling of shame, but maybe you don't fully like understand it. Maybe you've tried to avoid it because it's very painful. So if you take a different approach, study yourself, try to understand like what do you when you are feeling shameful, like what kind of thoughts do you think about? What does that feel like? What kind of reactions do you get in your body?
That's a big one. So for women, a lot of times they will know that their stomach gets upset for some
Yeah.
reason, but they're not sure as to why.
Kids,
and
kids
usually
do the same thing.
Me.
Yeah.
it's more prevalent in women just because we try and suppress things. Men just kind of get over it, and they just, even though they have shame, you guys do a better job of compartmentalizing those boxes where ours are all intertwined.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you give yourself a little bit of sometimes a physical, but even like an emotional, psychological distance from like that's
make
the
that
gap.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to make that gap, and then later on, I think once you make the gap, then you can kind of be able to get a chance to see both things, and then pull it back together.
Yep. And then it's what's the story, right? So what story were you told when you were younger? What story are you being told today at work? And like I said, mirroring. A lot of times you are hanging around with people who are going through the exact same thing. We gravitate towards people who have been through similar situations as ourselves. And so, for example, I'll just throw out there, I grew up in kind of a chaotic household. We were always yelling at each other and always fighting, and we were very loud and vocal. And so I married my husband, who is quite possibly the most quiet person on earth. And I tried to fight with him, and he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you even mad?" And I was like, "I don't know why I'm mad, but we're supposed to fight. This is what we're supposed to do."
Well,
And
that's your story.
that was my story.
Yep.
But I moved and changed my story. It's really nice not to fight
Well,
with someone.
and to change your story, though, you had to.
I had to recognize.
You had to recognize it, but how you were able to recognize it was to see someone outside of you.
Yeah.
Correct.
And they were able to give you a picture that was different than the one that had been painted for you all of your life.
And don't get me wrong, I was mad as hell at first, okay? But now
you have a new
Now you're better.
truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is. I mean, and these are things that I think are hard to impart. It's hard to impart early on. We, as being like good parents, like, DJ, well, you probably get that. I mean, it's hard to, you want to in your brain, you want to show your kids, okay, don't do this, don't do that. But unfortunately, some of these things you have to kind of live through to get to that next place. So, the next one, I won't spend a lot of time because we just kind of talked about it, but, understand how shame lives in your body. And just like Britt was saying, start to become aware where you recognize, like, ooh, when I feel like this, this is how I feel. Or when I start showing these types of mannerisms, whether it's within myself or towards others, this is what my body feels like. This is how I begin to process just the moments in time where I am. This is how I begin to talk to other people.
Yeah.
Being aware of your own physical nature while you are in the process of this does help you understand and get to know shame. And
you
these
can
are very
recognize
surface.
it. So if you know that, when I'm feeling shameful, I lash out.
Yes.
So then somebody who lives in your household whom you love, they do something very small and you're like, rah!
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Let me just analyze my own shame right now.
Right.
I am on 1,000.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. But it does it takes practice.
Yeah.
It does take
Yeah.
practice. And that is our last step, go deeper.
Yeah. Well, DJ, you were going to
No,
say?
I was just going to say the theme that I'm hearing a lot is self-introspection.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
Explore who you are as a person, where your thoughts come in, understand
Know
your triggers,
thyself.
right? Like what's going to trigger you in
Yeah,
a certain situation.
yeah, that
I
physical.
know, and I'll put myself out there, right? So I know I look like I weigh maybe 100 pounds, but I don't. But no, when I get stressed out, when I'm experiencing stress or what have you, or feeling bad, I tend to eat.
Me too.
And
Cookies, donuts, ice
looking at
cream.
me, you could tell I'm stressed a lot. But that's okay. But
It is okay.
But we all have to understand. The point I'm trying to make
Yeah.
is we have to understand ourselves
Yes.
and what kind of sets us off, and then figure out, how we want to live. Do we want to continue to kind of go through that cycle, or do
Correct.
we want to try something different?
Right. Yeah.
Being friends with Leia and you stress eat, she'll smack the food out of your hand. Being friends with me, I'm like, where else we going? What else we gonna eat?
Well, what happens? Leia drives to your house, and I've done it to both of you, and I pick you up, and I'm like, we're going to go work out. We're going to do something positive. We're going to talk about
I don't
how
stress
awesome
eat,
you are.
but
She
I
doesn't.
will.
She stress no eats.
So
It's
yeah,
you're
I'm the opposite.
Yeah,
complete opposite.
you
yeah.
stress starve.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I'm fluffy, I'm happy.
So last one is go deeper. How do you speak to yourself? This is a huge one.
this
I'm
is
not
major.
perfect at it, but I'm about 85% there.
You're
And
pretty
it's-
good.
It's
Yeah.
You have to retrain your brain, though. I've been working on this for 4 years,
Yes.
retraining my brain because I grew up, once again, I love you, Mother, you're the best, and she learned from her mother.
Absolutely.
So then I learned from her. And women are the worst. I know that men struggle, so I'm not discrediting. I know they have insecurities, but women literally tell themselves on a regular basis, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm
Yes.
not worthy, I'm never going to get this job, I'm never going to be where I want to be. And it just, we don't live in a climate, right, where
Correct.
there's not negativity in our face every single day. And
Yeah.
so when people ask me, like, why don't you watch the news? Well, because I only have so much bandwidth up here for negativity.
Well, and
I
you've
can't
got other
fill
things.
it.
I mean, and we're being bombarded by not
Yes.
just the news on television. You have the news on television. You have
Facebook,
media
Instagram,
news.
social media, whatever. You
all
know,
these images of perfection
Yes.
that aren't even fucking
Yes.
perfect because they're doing all these things behind the scenes to show you this highlight reel and these pictures that in real, like, there's expectation what you see on social media, and then in real life
I would
they don't
much
even
rather.
look like
I
themselves.
am still at the place where I would much rather read
Yeah.
because
Well,
I
then you can
don't-
stop.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I really want to know about something that's happened,
It's
I
not hard to
want
figure it
the
out.
entire story.
Yeah.
I don't want a visual snippet
Absolutely.
or, like you said, a highlight reel.
Yeah.
I want to read
or even
quotes.
just a what do you call it before you click on the link, the little
the
subtitle or
snippet.
whatever?
Yeah.
No, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. So
Well, even when you're reading, think about it. The movie's playing in your head,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
As opposed to like some, broadcasting, the banner, the lights, the colors. It's there to kind of draw you
yeah,
in.
absolutely.
Yep.
So when you're talking about some of the stuff we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
like you're right. You read it because it's
That's what
it's
it
like
is.
easier to consume. And
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, and that's why I think what happens to people. I mean, sorry, the next part.
Yeah.
I think is exactly the effect of that.
I am so guilty of this, and the thing is I didn't even realize it until it was pointed out to me. So we're going to talk about knowing how and why you isolate it. When you are in shame, you can. They know.
I do it
I
too,
will
though.
isolate.
Well,
quick.
I don't isolate. I just cut off.
I will just shut down. Like, I'll respond to a text a couple hours after. Like, I
was
have
about to call the
to
cops.
totally like.
I did
just
almost call the
We had
cops.
a moment.
decompress. But the thing for me is, and I think everybody has to kind of go through this journey of like understanding, okay, why do you shut yourself off, especially
Right.
from a support system of people who, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can't tell these two that they're gonna be like, okay, I can't be your friend no more. Like, they're gonna always support
Oh,
me no matter what.
Maybe.
No.
But
It was at one time.
I think,
I mean, we
think for
might
me-
say, "What the fuck is your problem?"
Yeah.
But we're not gonna go anywhere.
isolation for me, and probably a lot of people can relate to this, it just allows me to feel comfortable staying in that feeling.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't want it to get
Well, you
better.
almost
Yeah.
by doing that, you almost don't have to face the feeling.
No.
Well, yeah, you can just ignore it
Yes.
and just be in your own
And
little
there's
bubble.
nobody
and there's
there
nobody
to-
forcing you to confront. Like,
Yeah.
bitch, you got a problem. Like, get up, brush your teeth,
I mean, it's the same
change
thing.
your t-shirt.
It's the same thing for someone if they're an alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever.
Yep.
You have people you can talk to.
Yep.
But you choose not to go
Yep.
to those people because
Because you know what
you're
they're
like,
going to say.
Yep.
Right. They're going to be like, you're awesome. You don't need to do this. And you're like, yes, I do.
Yep.
I don't want to be awesome.
Well, and I think, well, let me skip over the next one. Leia, I'm going to have you go to the next one just because, I think in general, again, it's kind of one to the next. So, understanding that in shame, these are the effects. This is why we're kind of putting that out there. Things that you can recognize tangibly and say, maybe I do this, And so moving forward, here's what you probably should think about doing.
You need to find strength in being vulnerable. And if, my biggest thing is your tribe creates your vibe. So if you're hanging around people where you can't be vulnerable with them and you can't tell them when you're pissed off and shitty and having a bad day, those are not your people.
Nope.
Yeah.
If your people make you get drunk every Friday and Saturday night and you feel like shit on a Sunday, those are not your people.
Nope.
And you need to resist and welcome people into your life and really recognize people that fill you up.
Yeah.
And surround you. Yeah.
Because I tell Britt this all the time. So if you leave a meeting or you leave a job or you leave something and you feel like
Energized.
I'm drained,
Yeah.
not your place.
Yeah.
But if you leave and you're like, I'm feeling great. I'm
Yeah.
going to run a marathon. I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to be Oprah.
Yes.
Or if you're a guy, you could be someone
Stedman.
else.
Harpo.
Harpo.
Thank you. I was like, someone please interject here. 'Cause I'm drawing blanks on all of it.
Stedman.
Harpo,
Steve Harvey? I don't know.
Bill Gates? Is he still alive?
He's old as shit, but yeah, we could
Jeff
use him.
Bezos? Jeff, if you're listening.
Idris Elba,
Idris Elba,
exactly.
there you go, that's
Sexiest man alive.
The Rock.
Amen.
Next to me.
The Rock.
The Rock is so nice and sexy.
Okay.
But,
We digress.
Did we? Right. Like, what were we
I
talking
know.
about?
okay, what we're talking about is my challenge to everyone
Be
is
vulnerable.
the next time, be vulnerable, number one, and the next time you are going to say something to yourself internally, ask yourself, is that nice?
Yep.
Yep. That leads right into the next tip: sacred honesty with yourself.
Boom.
We are saying some real shit tonight.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't figured that out.
Do you guys understand how often we lie to ourselves
All
every
day.
day?
Every day. And
And
let
not-
others lie to us.
We let others lie to us. We
And then we believe
the
it.
lies.
Which, yes.
Yep.
So if you're not a religious person, then just if you don't believe in the fact that there is a power on this earth, in this universe that's higher than you playing yourself because you ain't it. There's something out there, whatever you call
Whatever
it.
it is.
There's
go with
something
the
out there.
universe.
Yeah,
the
there you go.
universe. But we were all made special,
Yes.
unique. Like there is no other Kenosha on this planet. Even if her name is Kenosha, she's not like you. There is no other Brit. There is no other Leia. There is no other DJ Will. Like we are so special in the fact that we are unique, and we have to constantly
Tell yourself that.
You gotta
remember
feed
that.
yourself positivity.
Yeah.
That's what's
So
honest.
it's like basically when you are telling yourself that, or whether you're saying it or acting like it
Or thinking it.
that you are not what you think you are, or we talked about imposter syndrome a
Oh my
lot.
gosh, yes.
Or that you're just not worthy, or that you just, I mean, some people literally, I had a friend in college who would literally look at herself in the mirror and say, "You ain't shit."
Ooh.
And I would be like,
Ooh.
and it was really hard
That's
for me because
deep.
I was like,
That is.
That is deep.
is there somebody on the other side of that mirror that I don't see? I literally was like, am I in a Disney
That breaks
movie
my heart.
and something else is a horror, something is talking back to you? But literally,
You know why that breaks my heart?
it was hard for me because I had
To
never
hear-
ever understood that
Yeah.
before in my life. Thank God. Thank you, Mom and Dad. But
To hear somebody that you care about look at themselves and say that is heartbreaking. But
it was
then,
hard. I didn't even know her
but
yet.
then you
and I
got to think
was
about like, where does she get that from?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well,
What has
and
she
when
gone through?
I never
Who has
had a chance.
told her? Who made her believe that?
Well, who taught her to say it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that is just
Yeah.
something that I could never feel. However, it's not uncommon.
It's not.
Nope.
No.
Right.
And that's the part in, gaining age and wisdom.
Right.
It's not. And that's what's scary. There are so many people. And whether she was the only
That's
person I
extreme.
had ever heard like verbally
Yeah.
do it. But I was like, I'm sure there people say that to themselves.
We've all said little things in our head like, Britt, you're not making the cut today. Like, you gotta fucking do better, man.
Are you sure that wasn't Brian? He didn't say that?
Well, and the thing is that there's nothing wrong with wanting to be better,
That's
right?
true, that's true. We
However,
all wanna
we
be
have
better.
to be kinder to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Which,
Yes.
this last little point, we need to start having a better, bigger, wider, open heart.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about having an open heart for others, but how open is your heart for yourself? Shame is definitely a limiting factor when you talk about having an open heart. And having an open heart to me means having acceptance. Having acceptance not just of others, but of oneself.
Your
having
whole self.
Your whole self. The bad, the good, the ugly, the great, the phenomenal, and the stuff that you wish you could dig 6 feet under, right? But you have to get to a point where you understand it's still you.
Yep.
That's right.
And just like you were saying, Britt, there's only one you.
Yep.
And hell, God is my everything. And so therefore, I do believe that nobody here is a mistake.
Yeah.
Everybody has a purpose.
Yeah.
We may not know what that is, but you have to get to that place of understanding that, if I open my heart to myself, sometimes as much as I open my heart to other people, then you might be able to get to a place where you can become at peace. And not that you won't ever have shame, but that level of shame can be
It's vulnerability. It's not shame anymore.
right.
It's that ability
It digresses.
Yeah, it's the same as being able to have a difficult conversation with your best friend as saying to your spouse instead of going, you never do blah,
Right.
blah, blah. You're like, baby,
What?
I feel
Yeah.
Right.
super small when you
When
talk
you,
to me.
yes, yeah.
The way that you just
Well,
talked
because
to
a lot
me.
of people reflect the same shame that they put out.
Yep.
And so if we widen, make better, make bigger our heart and the way that we relate to ourselves, to other people, to this world, then we can start going along the path of having #no shame.
Yeah.
If you love yourself, you will always find a way to love others.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So with
So
that,
true.
we'll be right back. We're going to bring the funny a little bit.
Yes.
DJ Will, you're up next.
Been holding my funny back.
It's a damn shame. I just don't know. But we'll have more when we come back. All right, skip in 3. Going
At the
4.
core of the district's effort to prevent the spread of disease is an agency known as HOSTA.
HOSTA's HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, STD, and TB administration.
And while the agency partners with health and community-based organizations to offer screening and treatment, here in the Noma neighborhood, the DC Health and Wellness Center is having a big impact.
This new modern space, we're happy to be in it for the past 2 years. The great advantage to being here is that we're more centrally located in DC, so it's easier for patients.
Easier for patients to reach and receive vital screening, treatment, and counseling at low, or in some cases, no cost.
We like to make sure here that cost is not a barrier for patients. So it's something that you can just sort of routinely come by. We have patients who come by and get screening every 3 months if they feel like they're at increased risk, and it's just sort of a place where they're going to sort of maintain their health.
And maintaining one's health also includes mental health.
We have people that work here that can link you up for health care. We also have mental health service providers here that you would never think of. And now we have TB services. So we also have staff that can point you to other shelters, and you don't really think that going into a clinic, you'll be like, okay, well, I didn't know that you can help me find somewhere to stay for the night, or housing in general.
The state-of-the-art facilities here are having an impact on HOSTA's mission, even if the statistics don't always seem to tell the whole story.
We're finding a lot more because we're looking for a lot more. We think that these numbers, so we've seen a general uptrend in the numbers over the last several years. We think that is in part because of the amazing work done by our providers.
Along with screening, education about disease and prevention is an important part of the work DC Health is doing to combat the spread of sexually transmitted diseases.
We bring STD screening and sexual health to them in their schools. So we do STD screening in DC public high schools and some charter schools, which is really important that young people are getting screened, and adults as well, but that, and more often that doctors are asking that people aren't afraid to talk about sex.
And young people in the district are embracing that conversation.
And one of the goals of the Sex Is campaign is to actually get that information out, because I know a lot of people don't even know that we have this clinic here on P Street. So I feel like the information coming out altogether is like a major help, because some people are just oblivious to the fact that you have these resources.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Good Things. And as promised, you know, we got a little heavy because we needed to make sure that we did our due diligence.
We need to make y'all better, okay?
Yes, that's what Good Things is all about. But, you know, we have about 10 minutes left to go. And sometimes people, even though we really don't want people to feel shame about anything they do, but some people
push the limit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just make you feel like,
the hell wrong with you?
I'm very excited about this.
It's a damn shame.
The first one, I just want to find him and slap him.
Oh my God. Well,
I haven't read them yet, so this is a full surprise.
Well, I think that DJ Willful,
Yeah.
I think we can't do this.
Let's walk it. Let's walk
Okay,
it through. Let's
okay,
walk it
please,
through.
please
We
do.
want to get through this together.
Okay, all right,
We want
all right.
to have a circle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So basically, this is that's a damn shame segment. Okay.
Because
it's a low down dirty shame. It's a damn shame. It's
a shame.
What's
I could
wrong
start
with
singing,
you?
but that
What's
wouldn't
wrong
work.
with you? I'm shaming these people.
I'm shaming these people too.
Okay,
So
all right.
So here we go. So this guy had his life savings of $23,000
Good for him.
in a shoebox.
No.
Lord.
In a shoebox.
That's my fault, y'all.
At the core of the district's
no,
effort
keep
to
on
prevent
going. I
the
got you,
spread
I
of
got you.
disease is an agency
Yeah. Oh,
known
there
as
should be a picture
HOSTA.
of that,
HOSTA's
BJ.
HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, STD, and TB administration.
And while the
Yeah, so
agency
shoebox.
partners with health and community-based organizations to offer screening and treatment,
So
Sorry, technical difficulties.
that's okay. It's okay. So this
Yeah,
guy
so-
had his money in a shoebox.
Yeah, I think there was a picture of what they actually found.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's for the environment. We can all
Okay.
appreciate that. But he
Absolutely.
accidentally put the shoebox with the money out with the recycling.
Oh no!
Right?
Sir.
Like all of it?
Sir.
He just took the whole box. He didn't open the
The
box.
whole
like,
23,000.
His Nikes.
You have a picture of that, PJ? Yeah, the money.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's cool.
That's
Hey.
what they found.
Hey.
Lord help me.
Well, here's the thing.
At the core of the district's
my
effort to
goodness.
prevent the spread of
DCN
disease
just
is
keeps wanting to play. I don't know why. You can strike that from the record.
He found most of it minus $320.
Somebody
not bad.
took $320.
Well, no, it was in the recycle truck.
Oh, so 320
Bounced
just.
around.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I thought somebody took out taxes.
Oh my gosh. That's actually
Finder's
pretty
fee.
good. That's actually
not
pretty
bad.
good. Okay,
That's
all
not
right.
bad. So all's well that ends well.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. So there's a double
a shame.
homicide, right?
Right.
Very serious moment
Okay.
in Canada, in Canada.
Canadian.
Canada.
Lay it
I'm
on.
scared.
So
Canada's my
they
favorite
They have
place.
a press conference
Right.
and they Facebook lived it, but they left the cat filter on.
No. No.
So a serious moment. Yo, heavy moment. Lives were lost.
First of all, I don't know why I'm laughing so hard because they were talking about a double homicide, but that lady got a cat filter on.
Cat filter. It looks like the trailer from Cats.
Oh my God! Somebody lost their job, right?
Yes.
Oh my
100%.
Like,
Oh,
I'm waiting for her to break out in song.
that is a damn
It's like
shame.
Broadway.
like it was probably, was it for the whole thing? Like the person
They
didn't see
realized
it.
they didn't see it. They came back and said that it was a technical difficulty, it was an accident.
I mean,
You know, they
damn
weren't trying
shame.
to make light
I'm
of
sorry.
the double
From
homicide.
now on, anytime I have like real serious news to convey,
Yes,
I'm gonna
that
use
was
the
a
cat
filter.
filter.
Hashtag.
Hashtag turn
so
off
Brian,
the filter.
Brian,
No filter.
I couldn't make dinner tonight, but I'm gonna tell you on my cat filter.
So,
Oh my gosh.
so I'm gonna kind of get through these.
All right, here we go,
So
here we go.
A bear was watching
I know.
a sunrise from a hotel veranda in the New Hampshire White
Bears
Mountains.
just starting to just not give any.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's not cute. It's a goddamn black bear.
So cute. Adorable.
Like, have you heard like the stories of like
I
especially
know.
Montgomery County
I
lately?
just
like
want to
there's
walk up to him and put my arm
well,
around his little bear
I'm gonna put you
shoulder.
in touch with the lady in Potomac that
That thing
just
will
got
maul you.
chased by a goddamn black bear while on her morning
Oh
hike.
my gosh! Well,
Yes.
you're
They-
not supposed to run.
She didn't know. She had headphones
You're supposed to
on,
lay down
and it
and let
was
him
running
jump on top of
after her.
Yes, you
And-
play dead. They're just like a normal.
Leia, she did
Okay.
not know it was coming.
Okay.
Oh,
Luckily,
Lord.
somebody driving saw it. Like it started barreling towards her
That's
because
why
she
you
was
can't run
jogging.
with
Did they let her in the
headphones on.
car and drove off?
No.
No,
this-
luckily the cars, like because it was coming up on like a, I think a busy road that the
See.
cars kind of scared
Scared
it.
it.
This should be a lesson to everyone, though.
No.
You do not know who's coming up behind you. You better turn that shit down.
This is
Better
true.
Yet, don't
This
run
is
with
true.
headphones on.
Don't run by
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, we're in a different. This is 2019.
Yes.
I feel like this comes up every so often when we have to remind women in the DC
Yes.
metro area, like,
Stop
Get your shit
running
together.
by yourself.
Yes. Stop.
Girl.
Anyway,
I
Wait,
told you
but
there was.
we're running shaming.
we are.
We are running shaming.
Sorry.
Damn it.
No, this segment, you get shamed
Yes.
because
Okay, all right.
that's a goddamn shame. But anyway, black bears are starting to give zero fucks. So please check your surroundings. That's all.
I said there was one.
All right.
There was one in Loudoun County. One
Oh,
morning.
there have been a few.
No. When I was running, and there was a guy
Nobody
who
has time
came
for
out
this.
behind me,
See?
and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Nobody has time.
No,
No.
I
right,
ran my
all right.
ass off.
Oh, I
This is
saw
my-
this.
All right, we got a couple of people.
This was my favorite one.
I actually saw this in the news.
The Brazilian drug trafficker Clavino da Silva.
Oh, I heard about this.
My man
Yes.
is 73 years old. Right? This is an elder statesman.
I like it.
Okay, He's in
73?
prison.
He did a good
73.
job.
Okay.
His daughter comes to visit him in prison. She's 19. So my man gets the bright idea, says, "Yo, we're gonna do the old switcheroo. I'm gonna dress like you. I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna go do my drug thing.
No.
I'm gonna dress like a 19-year-old, but I'm 70.
And that's how he's going. Oh.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
So they caught him, right?
They caught him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not brought the worst
like,
disguise I've
He had
ever
her
seen.
ID. He had his daughter's ID and everything. He was really trying to roll up out there. Like,
she brought the mask and wig when she came to visit, or he made it in prison, or like how did he?
We don't know.
We don't know the
That's
plan.
insane.
But it didn't work.
But he was committed. He got the donut shirt on.
That's right.
Like
He made some little boobs.
But it's Brazil.
himself.
It's Brazil though, so
It is.
I don't know.
I mean, those
That's some
lips.
crazy.
No offense to our Brazilian viewers.
See, he almost had it, but he didn't. Something about the eye holes. He missed the mark with the eye holes.
Well, I think that was yeah.
Looks like
Now
the
it looks
mask
like
from
a
Halloween.
mask.
I'm
He
ca-
should have worn sunglasses. Then they probably would have just
No, you
walked
can't
right
wear
by.
sunglasses in.
Yeah, not in prison, Brett.
Yeah,
I
nah.
guess.
Okay.
Have you ever gone to prison?
Oh my God. That's why it wasn't
See?
real.
He was close.
Okay, so you know what?
I'll
y'all-
give him an A for effort.
All right. Well,
It's a damn shame you didn't get away with that.
it's a damn shame. Exactly. Because you didn't do it. You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm glad. Thank you, DJ
Oh,
Will.
you're welcome.
Because some of this stuff I think we need to be aware of. So just like we need to be aware of understanding our shame, how to work through it so we can
Yep.
be better people, we need to know about the stupid AF people who just do stuff. And maybe if we call them out, then they can have less shame about.
And thanks, Will, for reading that, because none of us would have gotten through it. It was too damn funny.
No, it was funny.
I was over here trying not to cry.
Oh my goodness. Well, yes, thank you, DJ Willful. And thank you. I want to take a second. I know you guys don't see the people behind the scenes, but our new board operator manager, PJ Deuces. He was amazing. Amazing. Yes. We know it's a lot to work with the DCD crew.
We are some divas. We know what we want. We say what we want. We
Well,
get
Jay knows
what we
that,
want.
so that's nothing new.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you all
Thanks,
for joining
Jeremy.
us for another week of Good Things DC. We do miss you guys when we are not here, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. We will be back next week, same time, same place. And if you need to catch up on Good Things DC, just check us out on YouTube at Good Things DC Show. And as always, love one another
Always be kind.
and have no shame. Do good things. That's all right. Have a good night.